coalition will be the Congress for the Republic and Etiquettal. Switching slides. So the Congress for the Republic, a little history on them. CPR is a center-left party founded in 2001 by human rights activist Monsef Marzouki. CPR's main focus centered on the promotion of human rights and civil liberties. Former President Ben Ali banned the party a year after its creation, and its leaders were forced into exile in France. Immediately following the revolution that ousted longtime President Ben Ali, Marzouki and other party leaders returned to Tunisia and announced their intention to run in the election. The party officially gained recognition in early 2011 upon returning from exile. According to the Project for Middle East Democracy, the party's platform emphasizes the creation of a democratic society which requires upholding the individual and social freedoms outlined in the Universal Declaration of Human Rights, as well as establishing a clear separation of powers between the different branches of government. CPR advocates a system of decentralization that gives regional councils maximum power. The party refuses funding from corporations and other external sources because it does not want to become beholden to business interests. In addition to this, CPR and Ennahda signed and joined an alliance against violence in July, and both party leaders have expressed interest in working together to form a coalition after the elections. Switching slides. Next we have Etiquettal. Etiquettal is a social democratic party that leans slightly to the left of the CPR. Mustafa Ben Jafar created the party in 1994, and it became officially recognized by the Ben Ali regime in 2002. Although it did exist legally in the previous regime for some years, it never held any seats in parliament, so it was not particularly threatening to the authoritarian regime. The party leader Mustafa Ben Jafar is a medical doctor, and other members of the party are regarded as leftist intellectuals. Etiquettal's popularity has risen significantly over the years, and perhaps the best evidence of this came from their temporary banishment from politics in the 2009 elections. After the removal of the Ben Ali regime, Ben Jafar was named the Minister of Public Health in the interim government. However, he resigned from the position the following day to protest against the inclusion of former regime elements in the government, a move that made him immensely popular on the street. Furthermore, the Project for Middle East Democracy points out that while Etiquettal is not as well funded as Ennahda, the party has risen significantly in the polls since June, thanks to a cadre of industrious volunteers, and an effective outreach campaign to voters, and a dynamic social media platform. The party has reportedly been gaining 20,000 new members per week. Switching slides. Continued. Following the left-wing ideology, Etiquettal's platform revolves around improving the lives of the disenfranchised, including through the revision of tax codes to redistribute wealth and through efforts to integrate informal workers into the formal economy. Daphne McCurdy sums up the rest of Etiquettal's platform as seeking to eliminate corruption and publicly releasing the party's budget and membership information to demonstrate its commitment to transparency. Women's rights is another main feature of the party's platform, and Etiquettal is one of very few political parties in Tunisia to call for the inheritance laws that ensure equality between men and women, and to condemn domestic rape. The party has said that it will not enter into any coalition with extremists, presumably Al-Nahda, but is ready to cooperate with other democratic progressives parties in the assembly. However, with the addition of CPR to the possible coalition, Etiquettal leadership proposed what they called a government of national interest, implying an agreement to work together with Ennahda. The idea is to work together to suspend differences and appoint a politically and ideologically neutral government. Regardless of the makeup of the coalition, Ennahda will face significant challenges in governance and establishing a viable nation-state. Switching slides. So Ennahda's governing problems can be listed as three main. The first one is socio-economic factors. Second, we have rival political parties. And third, we have the concept of women's rights, which was so prevalent during the authoritarian rule of Ben Ali. Switching slides. The first one, socioeconomic factors. If Tunisia is to become a viable nation-state, it has great challenges to overcome. Ennahda succeeded in the October 23rd elections, in large part because it was the most organized political force in Tunisia. Although outlawed by the previous regime, Ennahda remained a powerful force within the Tunisian society. However, maintaining a strong and vibrant political force is one thing, but governing is an entirely different beast. Ennahda has absolutely no history of governance, and therefore it will face significant challenges as it moves forward. The first challenge Ennahda must overcome are the socioeconomic factors that continue to plague the country. Unemployment remains a top problem, reaching near 18% in the northern parts of the country, and rising as high as 28% in the midwestern areas of Tunisia. Perhaps most troubling is the joblessness among higher education graduates that rose from 22% in May of 2010 to 29% in May of 2011. Unemployment was the key factor that led to former President Ben Ali's departure and needs to be addressed immediately by Ennahda and the coalition government. Furthermore, the uprising that culminated in the birth of the Arab Spring added massive damage to the already feeble Tunisian economy. Senior research fellow at the Barcelona Center for International Affairs, Francis Giles, remarks that Tunisia's economic losses since the start of the revolution can be summed up as follows. An estimated $2 billion worth of material damage suffered by buildings and infrastructure during the revolt, with a further $600 million added to the existing import bill of oil-related products and foodstuffs due to rising prices worldwide. Put another way, this is the equivalent of 5 to 6% of its gross domestic product, a fall which includes $1.2 billion lost from the decline in tourist receipts and $1 billion from events in Libya, home to many immigrant Tunisian workers, and the destination of many Tunisian exports, white goods, foodstuffs, and industrial equipment. Foreign direct investment declined by 24.1% to 580 million Tunisian dinars, an equivalent of $420 million. During the first 4 months of the year, and if industrial production fell by 9.4%, production in the mining sector dropped by 60% due to continued strikes. GDP has fallen by 3.3% during the first 3 months and is not expected to go above 0 to 1% for the year as a whole. Switching slides. Second, we have the concept and problem of rival political forces. So the second challenge for Ennahda is that they will be forced to work with rival political forces that are firmly entrenched in Tunisian society and do not share the same ideological viewpoint. Due to Ennahda's previous status as a banned party, it has never engaged in dialogue or negotiations with either the Congress for the Republic or Etiquettel. Further complicating the matter is that the fact that CPR and Etiquettel represent deeply entrenched secular views of government, while Ennahda espouses Islamic beliefs. The same clash is evident within Tunisian society, as the public was greatly divided in the election. In order for Ennahda to govern successfully, it will have to walk a fine line with its coalition partners and the public. In order to do this, Ennahda has suggested it will base its governance on Turkey's AKP party that has successfully merged Islam into modernity. However, members of the secular parties doubt this would be the case in Tunisia. University of Michigan professor Juan R.I. Cole echoes the doubts of the secular Tunisian parties when he states that, unlike the Turkish model, Ennahda is committed to gradually moving the country closer to what they conceive as a mainstream or orthodox Islamic law. Furthermore, tension is already building concerning secular alliances with the Islamic Party. Samir Betaib, a member of the political bureau of Etajajid and a teacher of the Political Science University of Tunis, who was also recently elected to the Constitutional Assembly, is enraged at the possible alliance between Etiquettel and Ennahda. Samir bemoans the loss of Etiquettel as it has been an ally to center-left causes since the beginning of the revolution. He states that Etiquettel has been our ally up until the beginning of the revolution. We consider their current coalition with Ennahda as an alliance against nature. Their place is with us rather than with the conservative side. Switching slides. Third concept is women's rights. Tunisia has a history of being one of the most liberal countries in the Middle East and North Africa. This is especially true in the area concerning women's rights. Past political leaders frowned upon women wearing the traditional Muslim hijab, referring to it as a dish rag. Many women now fear that the Islamic Ennahda will seek to repeal the 1956 Personal Status Code law, passed by Tunisia's first president, Habib Bourguiba, that made Tunisia's women among the freest in the Arab world. This code banned polygamy and gave women equal rights in marriage and divorce. It was extended over the years to include a detailed list assuring women equal say in decisions about bringing up their children, once the prerogative of men. Ennahda founder and leader Rashid Ghannouchi claims that his party is not interested in promoting Islamic lifestyle based on Sharia law, and that women need not be concerned. However, Samir Betaib argues that those that are going to be in power, Ennahda and the Congress for the Republic, have demonstrated that they do not place much importance on women's rights. The CPR voted against a gender parity rule in the Constituent Assembly elections, and on many social issues it has proven to share more similarities with Ennahda than with the progressive movement. Furthermore, Tunisian women point to recent attempts of Ennahda supporters and clerics that have been harassing women teachers to dress more modestly and return to traditional Islamic roles. To support their claim towards women's rights, Ennahda members and supporters point towards Saouid Abderrahim, a female elected member of the Ennahda party. Switching slides. So Saouid Abderrahim. Ennahda is quick to respond to allegations that they don't support women's rights in Tunisia by pointing to Saouid Abderrahim. Saouid became an icon to many Tunisian women in the October elections due to her successful campaigning and election in the constituent